Well, good afternoon, and welcome to this week's edition of Drive Facebook Live. I'm your host, Bob Spitz, with my partner, Tony Whistler, and our very special guests today is Roxanne, and you said I was pronouncing it wrong. It's Hasso.
Yes, Jasso.
Yes, Roxanne Hasso, one of our master consultants with a client of hers, Grace Torevell from Central Diesel in South Dakota. Welcome, guys. Glad you're here. Glad to have you part of the show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see
Yeah.
you.
So we were talking before the show started, Grace, and I was real curious how you got involved in. Well, first, why don't you tell the audience where you are and the kind of shop you guys have and what it is you all do?
So we've been with Drive for a year, and I've been so excited to eventually be on a Facebook Live or some kind of thing. So when Roxanne brought this up, I was super excited to be on. So thanks for having me. Like you said, my name is Grace, and I own Central Diesel Sales. We're located in South Dakota. We are full parts and service for heavy duty diesel, so strictly big trucks. We're an agriculture and farming community, and we have 9 bays, 6 techs, a shop manager, and then I have 2 parts staff, as well as my business partner, otherwise known as my husband. So tricky situation there. But yeah, we found Drive about a year ago, and it's been a great ride. We've owned the shop almost 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was kind of interesting just looking at you going, how did this person get involved in heavy duty truck in in South Dakota? So how did that happen?
Yeah, so my husband has been a tech at Central Diesel actually for 10 years, and I started my career in the hair salon, owning my own business for about 7 years, and we got the opportunity to buy the shop, and that was kind of our ultimate goal as being married and figuring out what we wanted to do long term was owning a business. We both love hustling and entrepreneurship, and so when this opportunity came about, we were like, yes, let's go. So we're going on 3 years. I jumped right in. And yes, it has been 110% culture shock of being in the hair salon industry, going to the diesel world. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people ask, are you happy doing this? And I just love being my own boss. And I don't care what business that is. And yeah, we're thriving. I'm very thankful to have Central Diesel. It's been a really good, I like to joke that it's been stressful and a stressful adrenaline throughout the 3 years, because it's just so fun. We're young and eager to build something and provide careers for people in our area, and it's been a really good thing. So yeah, we hopped right in after buying the shop. But yeah, hair salon to the diesel industry. So here
Yeah.
A little bit of a jump.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
So
like
we're going to see Central Diesel Sales Service and Hair Salon?
hopefully not. I would not I would not forecast that, but you never know. You never know.
yeah.
Oh, that's great. And how many employees do you have?
So right now we've got 6 techs in the back. My shop manager manages the front. He was service manager, but we moved him to shop manager. And then our parts retail store, we sell full inventory of parts. I have 2 parts people up there, and then Rowdy and I are in the office. So yeah, we're kind of in the transition of figuring out how, obviously working on the business instead of directly in the business. But I can honestly say, out of these 3 years, right now we have the best team and full staff we've had in those 3 years, and I'm very thankful for them. We're just getting people in the right places and getting everybody's policies and procedures written down. So
Nice.
Right.
it's a pivotal moment right now for Central Diesel, I would say. So yeah.
How do you feel your playbook's going right now? You got it. What percentage is in writing?
Man, that is a whole foreign concept to us. Honestly, I would say, man, probably only 15%, if I'm being honest. I don't know if Roxy would agree, but we've got people on the Team Builder app. I have policies written out and a lot of info in our heads. But now with Rowdy being out of the back full time for the most part, we're trying to get him to do some of those things that are in his head and get onto paper and documentation.
Well,
Yeah.
15 is better than nothing. And
Yeah.
obviously,
Right. It's a
you
start.
know the old statement that how do you eat an elephant? You ever heard that?
Yep. One bite
One
at a
bite at a
time.
time, and that's how it is with policy too.
It
Just write the
is. Yep.
just get them written one at a time. You'll get them
Yep.
in there.
Now, do you also sell trucks?
Customers can park their trucks up there and we'll advocate for them as we've worked on the vehicles. Central Diesel has actually been around for 62 years.
Oh, wow.
So they used to be an international dealer. And I would love, love to get into trucks eventually. I don't know if that would look like us buying farm trucks and working on them to sell them or new ones, but we've got an extra lot and I would absolutely love to get into that for sure.
Yeah, well, you're 2/3 of the way towards a dealership. You've got the profit center of parts, which is one P&L. You got the profit center of service, which is another P&L. Then all you need is two more used trucks and new trucks.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
Then you have a four-ring circus.
Yeah, we are a full Caterpillar dealer and a Cummins dealer. And like I said, Central Diesel used to be a Navistar dealer. So I don't know we've dabbled with it for sure.
Ah, okay. So you guys are certified in Caterpillar and Cummins.
Yep.
Are you also certified in Allison transmissions?
I know we used to be, but I can't say that we are right now.
Because as far as I can tell, all the new Class 8 trucks are automatics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around here we see a lot of agriculture and farm trucks. So new trucks actually are pretty foreign to us.
Yeah.
A lot, it's not uncommon that we're working on an 80s or 90s, early 2000s semi. So we've had to adapt and learn and get training for the newer diagnostics and electrical that's coming out for sure.
Oh, yeah. There's no resting on your laurels when you own a business.
Yes.
You know, the technology is changing fast and the opportunities are there. You just have to look at them as opportunities and prepare the business for it. Well, that's great. So, um, Roxy, where are you taking Grace on this journey?
All the way. We're actually in the midst of prepping for master certification.
Ah,
Yeah. And like she said, her husband Rowdy has just recently transitioned to a place where he can start working on the business instead of in the business. So it's kind of a really exciting time as we go through the new year, being able to transition them hopefully to the next stage, and eventually stage 4. When I met Grace and Rowdy, they were both working candlestick end to end all the time. And the pace that they took the program has allowed them already to have so much room for Grace to kind of nurture the motherhood side of her life with her son Rebel, and Rowdy to take a day off, right? Leave half a day.
holy cow.
Yeah, it's really been something to see. So we're just hoping to continue to capitalize on that and get them to a place where that's a regular everyday thing. They can come and go as they please.
So Roxy,
Fantastic.
can we just get a little bit of a clarification on exactly what you mean by master certification for some people who may not have aren't on the
Yeah.
program?
Yeah. So Grace and Rowdy, again, at the pace they took the program, she used the words young and eager, and I probably couldn't choose two better words for them because they are definitely go-getters. So they had been on the program, what would you say, Grace, like 6 months?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was about 6 months, and they received the award at Expo for professional shop owners,
Wow.
which, they had to complete a series of accomplishments and tasks to qualify for that. And they skipped right over our effective owner or manager award and went for professional. And now we've got master, which is the next one in the lineup of those awards and certifications in our sites. We're ready to go for it.
Very cool. And then of course the master certification essentially for anybody that doesn't know is just you have your shop essentially operational.
Yeah.
Everything is working the way it's supposed to work. And you're basically, like she was saying earlier, I love this expression. You're not working in the business, you're actually working on it. And you can free yourself up to do other things and such.
Yeah.
So that's what the masters.
And you've passed a Jim Saley on-site inspection.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
That's true.
That's gotta come.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, Grace, I was going to ask you, because you are active and you're obviously a real doer. Are you part of Tony's Facebook club? I mean, his playbook club.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
We have a monthly meeting, and it's the Playbook Master Club. We get together once a month and we chat it up, um, and we talk about specific details having to do with the Playbook app, which is in the Drive app suite of Drive apps, and we do a little bit of brainstorming. Clients talk about features and things that they've discovered, and then I'll usually cover some specific area of the app. Very often I get into other apps as well. We'll sometimes get into other areas of the Drive suite, and it's just a lot of fun. And I always say bring cocktails, but yeah, that's always a lot of fun.
There you go. We're there.
Yes.
all right. Well, I think the door is open for you to join that, Grace. But the one of the subjects I wanted to touch on today is a different group that you and Roxy kind of spearheaded. Roxy, you want to tell me about this group that you all are putting together or have put together?
Yeah, sure. So we actually had an inkling, would have been September of 23 when we were in Las Vegas for the expo. I think it was like after one of the breakout sessions, and I walked by and there was this huge, like literally like maybe 8 to 10 women just kind of huddled together and talking. So I walked up and I said, "Hi, I'm Roxy. I was still fairly new around here and wanted to get to know people." And they were all talking about how they felt just slightly out of place. They were all thrust into the business very much like Grace, teachers, nurses, hairstylists, just from every walk of life that you could think of. And we're taking a leap into the automotive industry, usually with their partners, with their husbands. And they flocked to each other. And I just said out loud, I'm surprised we don't have a group for this, like a networking group for women. And this was piggybacking off of our creation of the owner to owner group, which is open to all Drive clients and is also a once a month group. And, ears perked and they were like, wait, what do you mean? Like, could we do that? And so it kind of started from there, started getting some information, some historical data, because there was a group similar to that before with Drive. And it was a little bit of a labor of love, but when I mentioned it to Grace, she was pretty excited about it. So kind of used her as the client advocate and just got it off the ground. So we've had, we'll be on our 5th month of meetings in January.
Fantastic. And what's the name of the group?
It's called Drive to Win. It's the Women's Initiative Network.
And
Drive to Win.
the sign up is your email address, right? And I think
It is.
we're gonna share that email address in the chat for everybody.
Yeah, for
And
now.
this is so that to just clarify my thinking, this is for all of the women who own shops in the Drive network.
It is, yes. And we have a wide array of women who join. So we've got women who have been with Drive for a week and show up to a call because they were just thrust into it. And we've got, Deanna, who's a Sustained Master Elite with our certifications and is a powerhouse. She's a workshop instructor. So literally everyone from A to Z is welcome to join, and you're going to get something out of it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if there's a woman who isn't necessarily directly connected to the shop, but is actually just a wife of an owner? Would that make sense for them to be part of this group too? Or is it really the women who are like rolling up their sleeves and getting into the business side of it?
I would like to say that everyone is welcome. Something really special about Drive and our clients is the care factor. So I feel like no matter how much we would say like, oh, this is all about the business, there is just this moment in every call where maybe somebody needs a little support, or someone needs a little bit of education or a little bit of additional knowledge. And the outpouring to those people is just, it's so refreshing. So even if you aren't directly related to the business, but maybe you just want to understand a little bit more, it's totally okay for you to join. Like I said, A to Z people are in there anyway. So yes, definitely open to all.
Very good.
Well, if you've got Deanna in there, she's a hoot.
Oh, she is.
She's
She
great.
sure is.
And
Yeah.
talk about an experienced shop owner. Holy cow.
Yeah, and so what we've been doing is we've been showcasing different female speakers every month. So, for instance, we had Debbie Jenner John speak our
Oh,
first
wow.
meeting, yeah, and then Deanna fielded one. Most recently, we had Chris Probst as our speaker. So we are just utilizing all the female
Some real heavyweights.
we know of. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And they're sharing their ups, their downs, their experiences. If we open up for an open forum, so if someone is, struggling with a certain issue or needing additional support in anything, they can bring it up to the group and everyone just kind of will jump in and do what they can to help.
Yeah, that's what one of the things I love. Me being only 28, I love the mentorship that I'm getting from Drive to Win, because the experience in the industry with other female shop owners is invaluable to someone like me, and the education that I'm learning from someone who's been in the ring longer than me. And I just love that. It's a great place to get that encouragement as well. And I think it's been really, really good.
That's great.
Well,
Yeah,
I would think
sure.
you and Debbie Jenner John have some things in
Yes.
common there,
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah, we actually met at the expo, and yeah, it's just really admirable to meet other shop owners that have been in it for years and years and are still married and have a thriving business.
And are still married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite amazing.
Big one, yeah. And sometimes the conversation can even roll to points like that, right? These personal things that we're going through as women, balancing business, balancing motherhood, balancing our relationships. And it's just a really refreshing community within our Drive community. Just the outpouring of love and support from the other women who want to see you succeed is really unparalleled.
That's great.
Great.
And you all meet once a month.
Yes, the third Thursday of every month.
The third Thursday, it's a Zoom call.
Yep.
And so if anybody who's watching wants to know more about this, they just need to email you, Roxy.
Yeah, you can just send me over your full name, your shop name, and your preferred email address, and I'll get you added to a mailing list, and you'll get the communication and the link every month.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Very good.
Yeah, because we've known for a very long time. I've been at this with Drive for a little over 30 years and in the industry for longer than that. I'd rather not say how long. And something that is so valuable is that networking with other like-minded people
Great.
who want to really make their business grow and pop, make it be
Mhm.
everything that it can be. And I'm so impressed. Grace, you said you're 28?
I am, yes.
Pretty
Holy
impressive.
cow. Very
Yeah, yep.
impressive.
Yep.
Very impressive. Now, because networking is such a big part of our family, of the Drive family. And there was a truck networking group, Roxy. Is that doing anything these days?
So we do still have the top 20 truck. It's a little bit of a smaller group right now, but it is still there. And we got it in our sights over here for some.
Yeah, for this
I'm
one
coming.
right here,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah, I think you could nominate her as the leader of that pack.
There you go.
Now, I had a question because talking about networking. One of the things that I really love about the expos we do every year is how much people get to see each other and friends they make. Because let's face it, when you're a business owner, it can be a lonely job. Like and there's not a tendency for you to go out and meet like-minded people, because the people who are like-minded are your competitors, and you're like, well, I don't know if I want to be friends with the guy 2 miles down. And one of the things that you can learn, and a lot of our guys have learned, is like you can be friends with people who are your competitors. We have shop owners that are both of them were on the program. I was in Kansas City, and they were like within miles of each other, and they met each other at the expo, even though they had shops that were within like
Oh,
blocks of each
wow.
other. And then they became lifelong friends, and they just kept both their shops running, and they both did great. So you said you met Debbie at the expo. Is that where you said you met Debbie Jenner John?
Yes,
Grace?
yep, I did.
So was that
Yeah,
was that your first expo?
it was. Yeah, back in was the expo in September. I'm having a
No, that was Vegas this
this
June in town.
June. Okay, June. So yeah, about March, Roxy had talked, are you guys going to Expo? It was always on our radar. We bought the bullet, bought tickets, and then we got the shop award. So that was even more of an experience for us. But yeah, I got to network with a lot of people. They kind of veered us in the direction of Dave and Debbie due to the, heavy truck. So I love that. And it was a great experience for sure.
And what else do you have to say about the expo in general?
So
What'd you think?
to touch on what you said earlier, yeah, when we found Drive, we kind of stumbled upon it through a podcast actually, as we were switching software programs for the shop. And man, David Saline had such a similar story to ours. And to be able to have found Drive, we were kind of feeling lonely. To give you, we are the nearest shop in about 60 miles, and our nearest Starbucks is 120 miles away. So it is hard to find like-minded business people and people who can share your struggles and give you that encouragement. Ultimately, shop owners all have the same business goals in mind, pushing out good quality service, taking care of our customers, and then taking care of our employees as well. That's kind of our goals at Central Diesel. And so it was really encouraging to find people who could share advice, and people aren't shy with Drive to share their struggles, to share their wins. It's really an open community. So that has been invaluable for us.
Beautiful to hear.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
We're
Now,
not going to be able to help you get a Starbucks. We won't be able to help you
Yeah,
with an
that's
espresso.
A little hard.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to open up your own.
Yes, yeah. I'll put that
But
on
don't call it Starbucks.
I'll put that on the list.
Yeah, Grace's
Bar-
Coffee Shop and haircuts.
Yep, yeah.
Now, I didn't get to ask you earlier when we were talking about your business. You being heavy duty, do you have a mobile component to your business?
So a little bit. For a while there, we didn't have the manpower to send out over the road to be able to do that. With heavy duty truck, it seems like there's always a little bit more to the service, and so we do try to just do a quick repair on the road and try to get them back to the shop. We don't have towing capacity right now, and that's a big issue in our area as well. It's hard to find someone to tow to the shop. So I would say a little bit right now we do, but not a full over the road repair, which is something we could look into as well, because there's a big need, like I said, with being in such a rural spread out area. It is hard to find that.
Yeah, and the tricky aspect of where you're located with winter upon us.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, those are all interesting points. Roxy, what would you could you give me a typical what it is you all talk about in a WIN session?
Yeah, so
It's not just complaining about the guys, is it?
Husbands.
no, I don't I honestly can say I don't think that's happened once.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's the great thing is that most of these women are very business focused. They want to succeed. They want to challenge the stereotype in a male dominated field that they can be a powerhouse. So, like I said, the first half hour is usually with our guest speakers. So they are sharing everything from where they started, their very bright beginnings. They'll share maybe really significant setbacks that they had, some victories, where they're at now. We do follow up with a Q&A. So if there's anything specific that's on the mind of anyone who's listened, they can field that then. And then it really is really an open forum. So we've had things where people have asked very specifically, like, I'm struggling with this in the business and I'm looking for advice. We've had an instance where maybe someone was really struggling balancing their lives. Like, how do I now that I'm here and I've left everything I know in the nursing area behind, just as an example, I've got 3 kids at home. My husband's ingrained in here, and I'm not exactly sure where my place is and how I can be best suited. The advice comes in. And one thing that we would really like to do, one of the goals of the group is also to empower women outside of our group and outside of our industry to join our industry.
That's
So
Ah,
great.
I used to just get the biggest kick out of hiring a female technician. I employed the most females in my prior life in my region. In our automotive shops, had 11 repair shops, and I had at least 2 women almost at every single shop, whether it be in the front or the back, because I really believe in the power of a female in this industry. So, we want to encourage people that even if it's not your background, even if it's, I knew nothing. I could put my own gas maybe when I joined automotive. And that's what I told the person who came after me to recruit me. I was like, listen, this is all you're gonna get. I don't know anything else. But it doesn't matter. It's okay. And just that encouragement to find people, to get them involved in this industry, to not limit yourself because you are a woman joining a male dominated industry is really a focus that we want to go after.
And I
fantastic.
in the
Go ahead.
last meeting, we were talking about, being able to educate women who are bringing their vehicle to your shop. So
Right.
women can have the confidence to get themselves back on the road and know what happened to their vehicle or know why it happened. So it's also just educating us as shop owners of how to provide that good quality service and educate. So I know there's some people in the industry that, or women in the industry that have some things up their sleeve of trying to educate other women bringing their vehicles into the shop. So it's kind of a double-edged sword of us being business owners, but then helping the females out in the industry and when they're coming to your shop. So I think it's a really cool two-way cycle of education, basically.
Yeah. There's been some talk about just car care clinics, just teaching and not even just women, young people, right? How do why do you need an oil change? How do you change your tire? Is my air filter really dirty? Just some really basic things that takes the fear. I remember reading a survey many years ago, and it was they talked to like 1,000 women and all the tasks that you just loathe doing. And the third one was getting my car serviced. And
Wow.
it was very easy for me to know, well, it's because they're worried. Like, are they going to lie to me? Are they going to take advantage of me? How do I know? And it would happen all the time at the counter, right? Like you tell a young girl, hey, you need this, and this. And it's like, hold on, I'm going to call my dad. I'm going to call my brother. I'm going to call my boyfriend. And we really want to empower women to know, like, hey, okay, let me take a look. Show me what you're saying, right? Take a look at that DVI. Go do a show and tell and really pay attention to what you're seeing and be confident in the decisions you make at the counter as well, even as a consumer.
Well, that's very admirable. That's great. You're being advocates
Yeah.
for women in our industry, and that's a worthy cause. Tony, we're up against the hour, and we've got a station break we need to do.
Yes, there is. The first thing I want to say is we were just talking about it. We do have an expo coming up in 2025. It's going to be in Las Vegas at the Westgate, and it's going to be the September 18th, 19th, and 20th. So if you want to come to the expo, let us know because it's going to be a party.
Yeah.
It's going to
The
be
other,
big.
it's big, big, big. And then the other thing I want to mention is what we talked about. You touched on it briefly. That I do have a playbook master club that I do every third Thursday, just on the same day that you guys do yours. And I would love to invite you guys to join that. And I also want to say that next week, Friday, December 13th, we are going to have our drive coach, Gibran Munozicano, and his drive client, Cody Marks of Auto Truck Repair in Whitehall, Arkansas. And that should be a wonderful conversation. So be sure to tune
Good.
in for that.
And I think registration for the expo is not open yet, Tony.
Okay, that's
It's
possible.
yeah, all clients will get registration info very soon. And that's from our wonderful people in our marketing department. So just stay tuned and you will get the registration information so you can register and be part of this great event that's going to happen. It's next September, right?
September 18th, 19th, and 20th. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, we're up against the hour. Grace, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful having you on, along with your coach, Roxy. I wish you nothing but continued success. And so, from all of us at Drive Facebook Live, thank you. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Thank
Okay, see you
you.
guys. Okay, bye.